Okay, yeah, my name is Steve Turner. I come from Chiswick. This is called the Ali Shuffle. Muhammad Ali had a perfect frame, a beautiful face and a first-class brain. His lips did verse, his feet did ballet. He stung like a bee. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, 2 fists of lead, rolling his shoulders and bobbing his head. Backed on the ropes, wait for the rally. Watch that shuffle. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali had a fragile frame, a frozen face and a burned out brain. His lips they drooped, his feet would dally, trapped like a bee. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, 2 fists of lead, rolling his shoulders and bobbing his head. Backed on the ropes, wait for the rally. Watch that shuffle. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali has now left his frame. He has left his face and he's left his brain. His lips are closed, his feet won't carry. The sting killed the bee. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, 2 fists of lead, rolling his shoulders and bobbing his head. Backed on the ropes for one last rally, one last shuffle. Muhammad Ali. I like poetry that deals with the big questions, and I was wondering how Kim Kardashian might pursue the big questions. Quite kind of interesting if you see the Kardashians, the way they talk that kind of language. And so I wrote this. It's called Yolo. Life is like this thing you get given when you're born. There's nothing else you can do with it but live it. So I'm like, okay. Life is not without its questions. I mean, who am I? Literally. Why am I here? Why am I like here? Who made me? How should I live? Seriously. It would be totally cool to have a fun thing all day, but then I guess fun would become boring, and we'd need to find some pain just to liven things up. Insane. Eventually you kind of get the hang of life, but then the life of which you get the hang runs out. You're so over it, or it's so over you, whatever. I pity those who do not seek. I pity those who do not seek, who never wonder why or how. Those who take things as they find them, those who leave things as they are, those who think that life is a gift, but don't believe in a giver, those who are made servile by surveys, those who are neutered by sneers, those who go with the flow. I pity those who do not seek, who never wonder whether or when, those who hunger and thirst for normality, those who achieve normality, those who just keep on going because going is their goal, those who are bully-ragged by headlines, those who leave it up to the experts, those who think truth is a lie. I pity those who do not seek, who never wonder who or what, those who know no one can ever know, those who think thinking's a bore, those who say everything happens for a reason, but don't know the reason why everything happens, those who lust for a Facebook like, those who are dumbstruck by fame, those who sit back and let life happen all over them. This is kind of inspired by, I don't know if you ever watched Dave Gorman's program. He has a section where he does a poem, and it's made up of stuff he's found on chat rooms on the internet, and he just reads them out with a bit of sort of violins in the background. It sounds like a poetry. It sounds like a poem. And I was actually looking for something on Einstein on the internet, because there was a photographer, a Life magazine photographer, who heard through an undertaker that Einstein had died. And so he quickly went to Princeton and gave a bottle of whiskey to the caretaker and got into Einstein's study and was able to photograph it just as it was, just before he got taken to hospital and died. And there was this conversation about this Einstein's study on the internet. So I've called it Einstein's Desk. And all these words are actual comments from people on the chat room. Look at Einstein's desk the day that he died. You see a book he was reading titled Philosophy. He was reading that book because he got tired of physics. He gave it up. Einstein also liked watching Beanie and Cecil on TV. By your logic, he was going to switch careers and become a puppeteer. You have certainly proved intelligence doesn't exist on Earth. Look at Einstein's desk the day he died. It's just as stupid the second time as it was the first time. I don't get it. Are you saying Einstein had a stupid desk? He was searching for answers he knew he wouldn't find in physics. Einstein knew that time was an illusion, just as math is an illusion. There is another illusion. That is the illusion of intelligence. Also people. There are no people on Earth. There is just the illusion of what seem to be what you call people. If Einstein wasn't so busy building bombs, maybe he would have got his answer. A little bit too late to be reading philosophy. Einstein didn't build bombs. I understand you don't know the definition of build. I don't expect you to. I don't expect anyone to. That is why you people are always looking stuff up. You don't know the simple stuff. Because I knew we were doing this event involved musicians, I've got some poems about music in one form or another. This one's called Satisfaction. It's my memories of when I was a teenager and my parents of that generation and their reaction to rock music at the time. So it's in the voice of a parent of that era. Satisfaction. Musicians once played music. Now it's all this thump, thump, thump. I hear it through the ceiling. It drives me mad. And what happened to enunciation? The boys look like girls, especially the blonde. What must their mothers think? 2 years in the army would sort them out. Wait till they have kids. I used to listen to Roy Fox at the Monseigneur. Real music. Al Bowley could open up a vowel. These were tunes the postman could whistle. Try whistling I Can't Get No Satisfaction. And another thing, if he cannot get no satisfaction, he must get some. Bad grammar goes with bad music. I can't get any satisfaction. That's what it should be. I can't get any satisfaction. That's what I say. Hey, hey, hey. I was looking through a lot of my old diaries recently. They're not diaries that I recorded my thoughts, but just like events I was supposed to attend, basically engagements diaries, I suppose. And I realised when I look back, I sometimes forget whether I actually did something or not. It's just something in my diary, and I think, well, did I go to it or not? Because it could be something that I didn't go to, and I've got no way of telling that. And sometimes I think I was places that I wasn't. So this is called I Was There, I think. I saw Link Ray at the Astoria in '78. What a guitarist, what a legend. I don't remember it, but it's in my diary. Like a lot of other things I don't remember. Like a lot of lunches with a lot of people whose names now seem like fiction. Like a lot of towns and a lot of cities. Was I really in Rochester, Letchworth, Boblingen? Did I kiss Louise, or were we just good friends? Or did she not show up? I thought I saw Miles Davis at the Rainbow in '73. He had his back to the audience and let his trumpet talk. But I was somewhere else that night, so I must have seen him on TV, or read about it in a book. I can picture Bob Marley at UCLA in '79. But I thought I was with Joan, not Jenny. I Facebooked Jenny in Nashville. She said, "Wow, your name is familiar." My daughter thinks Muddy Waters look cool, and I wanted to tell her about the night I saw him at the Speakeasy in '72. But he may have cancelled, or I may have cancelled. Best to assume we were never in the same room at the same time. What's the point of all these lunches and concerts, these towns and cities, if in the end they disappear like warm breath on a cold mirror? Even the ones I can recall, like Hendrix in '67 or Lauren Bacall in '85, are slim to a single impression, or maybe two, like the precious snaps we used to take when there were only 8 shots on a roll. A whole life contracts into a few thousand words and a collection of images, and even then, sometimes we can't be sure if we were really there or whether we just thought we were. I've got a couple of young friends, Americans, that are musicians, and they, the whole music scene's changed, so they travel around, they play in churches and, town halls and a lot of stuff in people's living rooms. And they live in they don't have an address, they just live in a camper van. And they've been travelling for about 7 years, and they came over here recently, and they were playing in Twickenham, and I went to see them. My friend's name's Kelly McRae, and she sings with her husband called Matt Castellane, and I wrote this poem for her called Living the Dream. Set your lives to music. Drive into the rain, the wind, the sun. Forget the daily routine, the weekly shop, the monthly check. Don't go with the flow, for the flow will eventually drag you down to where you do not want to be. Take heart, take risks, take control. Set your wheels to the road and your lives to music. Love what you're good at. Be good at what you love. Feast on the kindness of strangers. Delight in the landscape and the land. Listen to the canyons and cornfields. Listen to the rivers. Hear your country calling. Resist the ordinary. Welcome the unexpected. Seek out truth and stay true. Play songs in despised places. Play songs in shacks and saloons, in prisons and parking lots. Treasure your gift. Worship the giver. Drive into the rain, the wind, the sun. Set your lives to music. How am I doing for time? Okay, yeah. Sometimes if you're writing poetry, you see something and you don't realize, you log it, but you don't really realise that you're going to use it in the future, or what use it's going to be to you, and then something comes up and you find it comes in useful. I wanted to write a poem about repairing, and I suddenly thought of this guy I saw in Calcutta who had a stall, and all he sold on his stall was like bits of umbrellas. Not umbrellas themselves, but every kind of bit of an umbrella. So, if you had a problem with your umbrella, you'd go to him and he'd have the spare part. I took a photograph of him. I didn't really think a lot more about it, but then when I started thinking about repairing, I thought, he's a good guy to write about. So I wrote this poem called The Umbrella Man. Man repairing umbrellas in the harsh Calcutta sun. I wanted to include you in my Indian travel story, but there was no place for you to fit. You were not about colonialism. You were not about slums or temples. You were not begging or dying. Now I have space for you in a poem about mending. Will you come into it? You can bring with you your small screwdrivers, your latches and springs. In fact, it wouldn't be a poem about mending without your ferrules, runners and caps. The point is, I never forgot you and your stall neatly stocked with things for which I had no names. You made me aware of how little I knew about umbrellas and how thoughtlessly I discard broken stretchers, tip cups and ribs.